Hi everyone, it's Evangeline right here at eTrailer. If you have a 2025 Toyota Sienna and you want to see how the Benton LittleShift Bike Rack fits on your vehicle, well, this is going to be the video for you. We're going to focus in on some things you may need to consider when you're combining this bike rack with this car. It's a great fit for those solo riders out there that want a quick and easy rack to load up onto your vehicle that can carry all types of bicycles. But if you need access to, let's say, your cargo area, you need to open up your hatch door, there's things to consider. The first is that the bike and the bike rack are going to be secured against the back of your car. So if you needed to open up this door, you do have to take the bike off since this does not tilt away. Another thing is that the handlebars here fit pretty nicely against our vehicle. Even if I try to shake this with all my force, and I could probably tighten this down a little bit more, there we go, it's not making any contact at all. If you have longer handlebars than mine are around 29 inches long, then you may get a slightly different experience. But for your mountain bikes, this is a really good fit. Another thing is that this bike is secured by 1, 2, 3 touch points. 2 are going to be the wheel straps. The third is going to be our hook. So when you load your bike up, you bring this hook up as close to the fork of your bike as possible. If you have fenders, you can go ahead and bring that hook over to the frame to secure it. I always recommend securing by that front wheel because that usually gives the most secure fit for bikes without fenders. But what's adding to that fit is going to be your wheel straps. So always tighten down these wheel straps for a secure way of transporting your bike. We're going to take the wheel straps off though, because we're going to take the bike off today. So you saw how the bike sits up against the van. And when we take this off, you're going to see how compact the rack is. Now imagine you're at the trailhead, you're ready to go for a bike ride. This is going to be the process that you go through. Quick and easy, straps removal, grab the bike, and you're off and ready to go. Now that move right there was pretty easy because my bike is on the lighter side. If you had a bike, let's say up to 80 pounds, since that is the weight capacity of this rack, the good news is that the Sienna, since the hitches are usually a little closer to the ground, you won't have to lift as high to get the bike up and onto the rack. But before we talk about that, let's look at the bike rack itself. So notice how it has those cradles for the front and the rear wheel. That rear cradle actually pivots back and forth for your bikes of different shapes and different sizes. So you have a lot of versatility for your bike. Whether you have a heavy electric bike or a light road bike, this is something that can carry them. Now, if you're not going out for a ride just yet, and you're not planning on taking your bike out, I do recommend putting these straps back together just so that they're not flopping around as you drive around. This hook comes in, and I usually secure it with one of the straps so it doesn't fly back up. And this is what the bike rack is going to look like for all the people behind you. Let's take some measurements real quick. If I measured from the end of the rack to the end of our vehicle, which is our bumper, this sits at just 18.75 inches. That's not a lot of space that this takes up. Helpful since your Sienna is already on the larger side for a vehicle. So if you have a small garage, park into a tight spot, that's good. Now, we were talking about how high your hitch sits on the Sienna. If you have other racks or ball mounts or cargo carriers, you actually want a little bit of rise to your accessories like what we have here. Because this sits so low that you are more likely to hit the ground with some other accessories. But this, the LittleShift, since it does give a little bit of height to it, you're not going to scrape the ground as often when you're going up steep inclines like driveways or hills. Measuring from the end of the rack to the ground right here, that's 12 inches or exactly 1 foot. Compare that to that inside corner of our hitch, and that's around 9.5 inches off the ground. So most racks that sit straight out are only going to be around 10 inches off the ground. This gives you a whole foot. And another extra perk to this rack is that it also works as a hitch step. So if you have anything loaded up onto your roof, maybe you have kayaks or a rooftop tent or lumber or whatever, you can get access to that from here. Or you could just stand on the hitch step, say hi to all your friends at all the soccer games. So if you are looking for a small, compact, but very functional rack, the LittleShift is going to be a great option for you. Now, if you need to carry around more bikes, the expanded version of this is going to be the Benton Shifts and Grins, which can carry up to 4 bikes at the same time. Now, that's going to be a larger and heavier rack. I love the LittleShift because it is very small, very compact, easy to throw onto the hitch receiver and even leave on there if you want to. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us right here at eTrailer. But today, this is a look at the Benton LittleShift Bike Rack on a 2025 Toyota Sienna.